here's some of the frames that I found at Habitat. I usually go over there. It's such a fun day just to go to Habitat and look around and see what I can find that I can make different things out of. I can find so many things that, you know, that's old and pretty ugly looking, but I usually take and find pictures, not only just the frames, but I usually get the pictures if the frame looks real good and paint them. They'll be beautiful. I like to paint them different colors, like a turquoise, a pink, or basically whatever the best color is in the painting. So here's some big ones that I've got here. Anyway, so go to your Habitat store, find some stuff to do things with, and I'll give you some more tips on what all you can find and what all you can do with this stuff. Here's a canvas, a little canvas that I've got here that the painting actually wasn't, the paint wasn't very good in it, and this was back a long time ago that I had this one. So what I'm basically going to do is sand it down real good and try to get rid of some of the colors on it. You don't have to do too much sanding on it, but sand it down and then put you some gesso on it, and the canvas is just like new. So anyway, I'll show you that in just a moment. As you can see here, I have a canvas. What I'm going to do is just, this is a little more grittier, I guess, sandpaper than what I normally use, but it does the trick. I just sand it down. Okay, I've pretty much sanded this down as much as it needs to be, and you know, take a paper towel and wipe over it. And by the way, when you're sanding this down, please make sure you're in a well ventilated area. Wear a mask over your face, because these paint particles, you know, I don't know, you know, I'm sure they're not good for your lungs, but, so anyway, always wear some protective gear around your face, your eyes, but anyway, wipe it down real good, make it really nice and smooth, okay, and then you'll take, and you can add the gesso onto it. Now, I'll show you how to put the gesso on it. Okay, here's what I usually use for my gesso. I just get a big bottle like this at Michael's or at any craft store, and put it on I usually put it, instead of putting it directly on my canvas, I usually put it in a bowl. So just, as you can see here, I put a dab of, or dollop, whatever you want to call it, of gesso in here. And I don't ever wet my canvas to put the gesso on, because it's just diluting the mixture. So put it in here, bring it over, and again, it may take 2 or 3 coats. Hopefully this will only have to take 2 coats. Get you a nice soft brush. This is my Bob Ross brush. It's really nice for doing this. Make sure you get the edges too. I like to do these X patterns across it. That makes sure, you know, that I've blended it very well, going across, getting it on there. You may think that this is just a little bit more work than what you want to do, but I find it fun. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. It's a lot cheaper than going to Michael's and buying these canvases, especially these kind of canvases, because basically all I'm going to do with these is just show tips on them, video tips on them. So I've got that pretty well painted on there, and I will let that dry, and I'll come back and put another coat on it. Okay, I ended up having to switch to a Hake brush because the brush I was using, I actually never even thought about it, didn't notice it. It was doing a great job, but it was a blender brush. You don't ever want to do your blender brush like that. So I had to wash it out real good. And it's okay, just make sure if you do something like that, make sure you wash it out real good. This is a little stiffer bristles, but I just put the second coat of gesso on it. And as you can see, it's still got a blue tint to it. So I would suggest, what I did first though, you saw me put the first coat on it, then I lightly sanded it down a little bit more, and sanded the gesso down to get a little hairs out. I did forget one right here, and when you get a hair on your canvas and it's still wet, just take the tip end of it and flick it off, and it'll come right off. Let's see that one here. But take your brush, any kind of brush, and just flick it off. You know, it doesn't matter. It's going to come right off. Wipe your brush. Just blend it back over. Okay, there we go. So this would probably, I'm going to recommend you do 3 coats over something that was this dark, and just sand it between each one. So as you see, this one's still a little tacky. I'm just going back over it to smooth it out a little bit. And I will take and sand this down, and I probably will not do another coat. Again, these are just my practice canvases that I use, but sometimes now when there's a nice big canvas, I'll take and clean it up real good and put a good gesso over it. Okay, here's my finished canvas after 3 coats of gesso on it. I usually, now the last one, I check it out and see I still have a few little brush strokes on it. See, it's just like a brand new one. Only of course you can tell this is the one that I took and painted. I didn't paint the edges of it because I wanted to show you that it was still the one with the gesso on it. So that's exactly how I take a painting that I get from Habitat, or maybe from any other thrift store or Goodwill or something like that. And take it out of the frame, save your frame, and I'll show you, and I'll upload a video of how I do my frames also. But this is how I do my canvases. Again, it's just very simple, very cheap way to do it. And again, please do not, if it's got a signature on it, and just please don't paint over it, you know, because someone's, like I thought a lot of it. So please, by all means, you know, don't do that. But sand them down again and do this, and you'll have a great canvas there. It's just almost like one of those satin canvases. It's so soft, and you can paint pretty much anything on it. So stay tuned, and I'll show you some techniques on how to paint trees, leaves, twigs, different things. So stay tuned.